Hey party people, Techno here, back again at the Sans Holiday Hack Challenge. In the previous Hack Challenge video, we opened the Borea Mine door on this Cranberry Pi terminal, and directly behind the Borea Mine door is the last challenge to the Web Ring room, the Web Ring set of challenges, and this is Glamterial's Fountain. Now, for those who haven't heard me mention this before, I was unable to solve Glamterial's Fountain before the Sans Holiday Hack Challenge event officially ended. So for that reason, I won't be providing a tutorial on this challenge. I'll leave that to those who were able to solve the problem prior to the information being publicly available. And in light of that, we'll move on to the Cloud Ring set of challenges. So let's head back through these dark Borea Mine tunnels out to the main set of Hobbit or Flobbit tunnels. Correct myself there, Flobbits, not Hobbits. That would be trademark infringement. And we can check our badge to actually see what this next challenge would be. So let's go to our objectives. We'll navigate to the Cloud Ring section, and we can see the first challenge is going to be one Christmas tree. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And we're just going to be trying out some commands on the AWS command line. And then once we get to that room, we'll take a look at the hints for this as well. But before we get there, just to sidetrack for a moment, I want to point out that there is an opportunity to pick up a chest here. So if we open up our developer tools and take a look at the secret map we found earlier, we can see that from where we're standing, there is a chest here to the upper left. And we can confirm that by using the zoom out trick as well. So if we zoom out, we can see that that chest does indeed exist right up here. And the way that we're going to access that chest is through this rope. Now this rope ultimately would take you up to the floor above this, but at a certain point on the rope before we get there, we can sidestep directly left off the rope. Just find the proper place to retrieve that chest. Get yourself some extra Kringle coin, get yourself any goodies that are in there, some hints, things like that. And now we'll head back down to the cloud room. So we'll head down this ladder, deeper into these Flobbit tunnels. We're getting deep enough now that we're really starting to see a lot of sporks here. We don't want to mess with those guys quite yet. Let's head into the Cloud Ring room. Down this ladder, we can see this giant machination producing this foggy cloud-like substance in the room. And we will head up this ladder to where Jill Underpole is standing and start with this first challenge. So let's check out that hint before we jump into the Cranberry Pi terminal. And for this challenge, we have one hint called AWS Who Am I? And it simply states that in the AWS command line, the Secure Token Service, or STS, has one very useful function. Presumably that's a function that we're going to be using to solve this challenge, and we also have a link to some documentation here that we can review if we want. Let's go ahead and jump right in. And this first message that we receive when we first log into the Cranberry Pi terminal states that you may not know this, but AWS CLI help messages are very easy to access. First, try typing AWS help. All right, well then, let's type AWS help. And we get a bunch of helpful output on what commands we can run in here and the various switches that we can use. And we also get a new message that states, great. When you're done, you can quit with Q. Next, please configure the default AWS CLI credentials with the access key and the secret key and the region US East 1. And then we have another link here to a quick start configuration guide for AWS. And if we follow that, it's going to show us these steps here. And pretty immediately noticeable is this AWS configure command that takes all the parameters that we were just given or asked to configure. So it seems pretty logical that we're going to use the AWS configure command to solve this next portion. Now, minus that link to that helpful documentation, another way you might find this is to simply see if there is a configuration option with the AWS help. So we could use that help command and we could grep for the config and we'll see what pops up here. And we can see that there are a number, including the configure command. And then if we wanted more information on that, we could type AWS configure help and get help specifically on that command. And then we can see here that those variables that it accepts are the ones that we're being asked to input. So just another way that you might find that information. And at this stage, we can go ahead and run AWS configure. and we'll be prompted for that access key. So at this point, we can go ahead and just copy out these variables and put them in where prompted. So next we're asked for the secret access key. Let's go ahead and grab that and pop that in. And then the default region name, which is of course US East 1. And then finally a default output format. Don't really care about this one. We could specify JSON here or something like that, but we don't really care. So let's just go ahead and enter that. And great, we get a new message. It says, excellent. To finish, please get your caller identity using the AWS command line. For more details, please reference AWS STS help or reference this documentation on STS. Well, and our hint also told us that STS is going to be going to contain a key command for us to use. So let's go ahead and just run that AWS STS help. So what we're being asked to do is retrieve our caller identity. And well, simple enough, there is a command in here simply called get caller identity. So I think that would be the one that we would want to go for. And now we can type AWS STS get-caller-identity. And when we run that command, it returns our IAM, our information here, and then we have completed the challenge. It says, great, that you did it all. So we've retrieved our identity access management. That's what I just kind of had a brain fart on, information. And that completes this first challenge for the Cloud Room. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but what this is doing is setting us up for the things we need to know moving forward in this room, and we will tackle those challenges in the following videos. So next up, our next challenge is going to be the Truffle Hog Search, 2 Christmas trees out of 5, so upping the difficulty just slightly. And when we get back in the next video, we will tackle this. So until then, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Take care, and I will talk to you later.